offenses are just living in the paint against the New York Knicks. They get right by the perimeter defenders that the Knicks have, who happen to be guys like Jalen Brunson, one of the worst, Jordan Clarkson, one of the worst, Tyler Kolek, who has played really, really well offensively, one of the worst at containing guys on the perimeter. And guess who the Spurs have on their team? You mentioned Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox. These are two of the best at getting into the teeth of your defense in the entire NBA. In terms of drives per game, they're two of the elite guys in the league, both top 20 in drives per game across the league. In terms of speed, we all know De'Aaron Fox is one of the fastest, quickest players in the entire NBA who can get past pretty much anybody one-on-one. The Knicks also are missing their two best guys potentially at containing faster, smaller guards on the perimeter. Obviously, Deuce McBride and Landry Shamet, who's played really excellent defense this season when he's been on the court. Mikal Bridges is excellent defensively, but more in that free safety kind of roaming around in the backfield, in the backcourt kind of, the front court kind of situation. But not playing on ball and keeping guys in front of him. And OG Anunoby, who is obviously excellent, better at guarding wings in that situation, not these super fast blur speed guards that the Spurs have. And so I think that is going to be the biggest thing to watch. If the Knicks can keep those two guards out of the paint, they will win the game because the Spurs won't be able to score with them. If the Knicks can't keep those two guards out of the paint, the Knicks are probably going to lose by double-digit points, I assume. And I know that feels like a big claim. That I think the Knicks, we talked about this right before we jumped on, the Knicks are opening as favorites to win the game. I just think that this is the biggest factor that I can think of. And it has been the one biggest defensive weakness for this Knicks team is paint penetration. Even in this Magic game, there was at some point Mike Brown had a Kolek, Brunson, Clarkson lineup out there. And I was like, no, I can't watch. Like, no, I like avert your eyes. Luckily, I think Jalen Suggs was already kind of hobbling at that point, and they really didn't have a player to take advantage of it, of that lineup configuration. But it's going to be a problem. So I'm curious your thoughts on that.
No, I think that's an excellent shout. And it's the type of thing where I think it's counterintuitive to most people because you would think that a game like the one you're describing where the Spurs are scoring a lot, it's a race almost, it's fast paced, high scoring, that would lend itself to the in a vacuum better offensive team, right? But I do agree with you that if it's the type of game where the Spurs are not taking the ball out of the basket a lot, they're getting out and running, and then in the half court, Bridges, Hart, Kolek, Clarkson, Brunson, these guys that are going to take up the majority of the minutes on the perimeter defensively for the Knicks, if they're not containing the ball handlers, that just spells trouble for the Knicks.